Hello everyone. Today we are going to be getting ready for the ELA State Test. The first thing I want to tell you is stay calm. This is a big test, but if you stay calm, you can do it. So here are my tips. Always read the whole question very, very carefully. Try your best. When things are hard, take deep breaths. Don't give up. Be confident. When you really don't know an answer to a question, then you can guess, but make sure to choose the answer that makes the most sense. Facts. The ELA State Test takes 2 days to finish. The first day, you will only have questions that are multiple choice. And the second day, you will have questions that are short response and essay writing. It is better to use the bathroom at home or before you take the test because you can't have bathroom breaks. You are only allowed to go when it's an emergency. Now we will be working with some of the passages from last year and answering questions. And these are the helpful things. Like we could use these things for annotating. So I've got a passage from last year. And we are going to be using this passage to practice. So what I want to tell you is that always remember to highlight the instructions and the dates. So we must always highlight this part. You always have to highlight numbers also. You have to highlight the title and the author. So now let's get to reading. But before we start reading, you could see these passages numbers. These are the passage numbers. And these will help you to answer questions. It makes it easier. So now let's start reading. Craig watched his older sister Riley and her friend Liz race up and down the lake on their skates, dodging the other hockey players. Their skate blades looked like silver smoke. Oh, sorry. When the game was over, the girls skated up to the bench where Craig was sitting. Craig asked Riley what skating felt like. I got really fast. I feel like I'm flying, she said. That's silly, thought Craig. Flying is something birds do in the air, not something people do on ice skates. Then he watched Riley go back out on the ice. She skated around and around the edge of the lake with her arms pumping and her scarf trailing behind her. Soon she was going so fast that her arms looked like wings and her scarf looked like a feathery tail. Maybe skating really was like flying. When Riley sat down to take her skates off, Craig said, I wish I could fly. Riley retied her skate laces and crouched next to Craig. Get on my back, she said, and Craig did. Riley started skating, but Craig didn't feel like he was flying. It just felt like a wobbly piggyback ride. "You're too heavy," Riley said. "I can't go fast when I'm carrying you." She skated slowly back to the bench. Craig got off her back. "Even if you could go fast, it wouldn't be flying," he said sadly. "I need skates to fly." Riley didn't say anything on the walk home, but a few days later she asked Craig if he wanted to go skating. "To watch?" he said. "No, to skate," she said cheerfully. "Mom and I found a pair of my old skates. They might fit you." The skates were a little big, but when Riley stuffed newspaper in the toes, they fit. Craig couldn't stop smiling. He didn't want to take them off, but he had to so he could walk to the lake. Riley and Liz went with him. They carried their hockey sticks, 2 orange cones, and a wooden chair. When they got to the lake, Craig put his skates back on and Riley helped him onto the ice. Then she put his hands on the back of the chair. "Hang on to this and you won't fall," she said. "Just push it along in front of you, okay?" Craig grinned. "Okay." His feet felt wobbly, but he held on to the chair and he didn't fall. Riley and Liz cheered him on as he started to move forward. Then they set up the cones and practiced passing the puck to each other and shooting goals. Craig watched them. They made skating look easy. He tried to skate like them, but when he let go of the chair, he fell. So he grabbed onto it again. It and itched along. His skate blades went scritch, scritch, scritch instead of swish, swish. Instead of the swish, swish sound that his sister's blades made. This wasn't like flying at all. It was like being a snail. "Ready to go home?" Riley finally asked. Craig nodded, frowning. Riley had never said how hard skating was. "What's wrong?" she said. "I wanted to skate like you," Craig said. "I wanted to fly. Someday you will," Riley said. "It takes practice." She patted his shoulder. Then she whispered something to Liz, who grinned and winked at Craig. Each girl took one of Craig's hand. "Someday you will fly on your own," Riley said, "but today Liz and I will help you." Riley and Liz started skating, pulling Craig with them. The edges of his skate blades just touched the ice. The girls went faster and faster, and so did he. When he looked down, his skate blades were a silver blur. His hat nearly blew off. "I'm flying," he yelled, and the words blew away in the wind like a bird's happy song. So we read it the first time. Now we could go into annotating. So we are going to read it a second time and annotate. So let's look at the last slide again. So let's see if we could use any of these annotation marks. So over here in the first in the first paragraph, it said Craig watched his older sister Riley and her friend Liz race up and down the lake on their skates, dodging the other hockey players. Their skate blades looked like silver smoke. Oh, I remember one time I watched people playing hockey and their blades did actually look like silver smoke. So I'm going to use the draw. I'm going to use the red. And the sign was, this was the sign, as you could see here. When the game was over, the girls skated up to the bench where Craig was sitting. Craig asked Riley what skating felt like. When I go really fast, I feel like I'm flying, she said. That's silly, thought Craig. Flying is something birds do in the air, not something people do on ice skates. Then when he watched Riley go back out on the ice, she skated around and around the edge of the lake with her arms pumping and her scarf trailing behind her. Soon she was going so fast that her arms looked like wings and her scarf looked like a feathery tail. Maybe skating really was like flying. Let's see if we could annotate anything else. So there's another thing you could do. You could find the words that repeat while annotating. So you could highlight them. So I'm going to use light blue. So I see flying a few times. Flying, and then here's flying. Okay, it turned green a little, but that's okay. And then here's flying. I could also highlight fly because that's almost the same as flying. And yeah, you could just find words, important words that repeat, not like I, am, me. We're not going to highlight those stuff. And these are also the things you could use. This is for an important fact. Underline is for a keyword or details. Checks are for I understand this question and idea. You could circle a word that you don't really understand. Question mark, I don't understand. Exclamation mark, that's surprising or new info. And this sign, I made a connection. And words and comments, I'm thinking. So now let's go into answering questions. What does the word crouched mean as it is used in paragraph 6? So let's go back into paragraph 6. So let's see where we could find the word crouched. Yes, I found it. So in this sentence, let's highlight the word. I'll use pink. And boom. So what do you think it means in this sentence? So don't even look at the choices. Just think what it means. So I think it means bending down, or yeah, something like that. So let's look at the choices now. A, spun around. Nope, that doesn't make any sense. So I'll use my draw thing to cross it out. B, bend down. Yup, that could be it, but there could be a better choice. So I'm going to put a little dot next to it. C, stood up. Nope. D, fell over. Nah. So the best answer would be B. Let's try two more. In paragraph 9, what is the most likely reason Riley stays quiet as she and Craig walk home? I'm thinking. I think because she is thinking why, like she's thinking how to make Craig happy, and like, yeah, I think that's why she's quiet. I think that's why she's, yeah. So let's see our choices. She is thinking about how well she played hockey. Nah, I don't think so. She is upset with Craig because he hurt her back. I don't think so. C, she is thinking about how to get skates for Craig. Yeah, maybe. I'm just going to put a little dot. And D, she is tired from skating in the hockey game. No, the text doesn't really say about that. So the best answer would be C. What does Okay, so let's look at this one. What does paragraph 12 help the reader understand about Craig? Let's read paragraph 12. The skates were a little big, but when Riley stuffed newspaper in the toes, they fit. Craig couldn't stop smiling. He didn't want to take them off, but he had to so he could walk to the lake. So let's go back to the question. So I think that, based on the text, I think that Craig is very excited to skate. So now let's look at our choices. Craig is too young to learn how to skate. No. Craig is very excited about learning to skate. Yep, that's true. But there could be a better answer, so let's look for it. Craig is unable to take the skates off by himself. Nah. Craig is worried that his sister will take the skates back. Nope, because his sister doesn't even fit them. So the most sensible answer would be B. So now we're done with the multiple choice. Now I will ask you a question. It will be a short response. So over here I am going to I'm going to make a text box. So my question is, what is the main idea of this story? Now in the text box, I'm going to show you how to write the best answer. So first, the first thing you have to do is that you have to restate the question, but you have to eliminate the question words. That is what is. So now you could restate it. The main idea of this story is main idea of this story is, and then you have to write the answer. So the main idea is basically the what happens mostly in the story. So let's not type for a second and just say our answer out loud. Well, don't say your answer out loud during the state test. Just say it in your mind. So the main idea is it's about two siblings, Riley and Craig. Craig is the younger brother, and Riley always takes her younger brother Craig to a skating rink, and she always plays hockey. Craig loves to watch Riley and sees that Riley looks like she's flying. And now he gets inspired by Riley and he wants to skate too. But it isn't as easy as it looks. And that's how you say, and I said it out loud now, and now I could type it. So that is how you answer a short response. In my second day, I will show you how to write a good essay. I hope this was helpful. Bye.